This video is a part of a series that's going to help travelers enjoy their coffee experience better. I'm testing out all the best and worst products for mobile coffee solutions. Let's get stuck into it. What is up, guys, and welcome to another video on the Mitch Does Coffee YouTube channel. Now, I know it has been a little while between regular videos, but I have made you guys the promise in the past that I would never make a video just for the sake of posting something. So it either needs to be educational, entertaining, or just fun. So today we've got one that's a bit of everything. And today's video is all about the Outin Nano. So I've now had this portable espresso machine in my hands for a little while, and I've been testing it, trying it, pushing it to its limits to see what it can and cannot do, and I'm ready to show you guys what I think. So the Nano does have quite a few pretty cool little features. Of course, it's USB-C rechargeable. That means if you're on your way to camping in your car, you can plug it in and charge it on the way, and you're gonna get between 4 to 6 espresso shots from that full charge, depending on how much water you put inside. That's right, you pop the water in the top, it will heat it for you and run the complete extraction, all with the touch of a button. So there are other products on the market similar to this, but I've never seen one that does the water heating for you and that does a proper extraction the way that they should. This one unit will do ground coffee or pod style coffee. We're not going to talk about pods because that's not really my sort of thing, but I'm going to show you guys what I think of this. I'm going to pop some coffee in, run you through a couple of the steps, and then give you a bit of an advice at the end as well. So if you remove the cup from the bottom of the Nano, it will expose this little section here, which you can unscrew. And it does come with two different types of little module here. This one comes apart. That one, of course, is for ground coffee. That's the one we're going to use today. There is another type for the pod as well that does have the little spikes to pierce the pod. So in your little coffee basket, you can put about 5 or 6 grams of coffee because you don't want it all the way to the top. It does have to compress down a little bit. I'll try to give you guys some close-ups here. Hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. And it also does come with this little dosing cup / tamp. So you can put about your 6 grams in that. I have tried to put more. I wouldn't recommend doing it, just as a quick heads up. I wanted to see how much I could get in there. 6 grams is about the right amount if you're grinding it at the correct setting. And I have been grinding it at the same setting as a typical espresso. So I'm gonna grind 6 grams of coffee, pop it into the little basket, assemble it, and then we're gonna make some coffee. So once you have your coffee into the basket, you can tamp it with the back of the scoop. It actually does fit in there a little bit loosely, but you can definitely move it around to get it right. You can go to the trouble of WD-ing and all those sorts of things if you like. I have done, and it didn't really make any kind of difference, so don't worry about packing that when you go camping. Now, once you've got that done, you want to pop the top of the basket on. Now, there is an O-ring around the edge of this, so I would be careful with it, as I have sort of pinched it a couple of times and it sort of popped out the side. So as I install it, I do give it a little bit of a twist, just ever so slightly, and it fits on there absolutely perfect. And then you grab this little guy here. That is the lowest part of the unit, other than the cup, of course. But I've made a little bit of a contraption to show you guys how this works, a little bit better than trying to see what's happening inside the cup. So sit tight, we're going to assemble this, pop that on there, screw that on. Now, other than water, this is ready to extract a coffee. So inside the top of the Nano, you can see that there's some little marks inside. It does have a 50mm, 70mm, and a maximum line. Now, of course, this completely depends on what you would like to extract. Try to keep in mind that there is only a small amount of coffee inside, and if you're gonna start pulling 70 or even 80ml of coffee through that, your espresso ratio is going to blow way out, because 70ml of water to 7 grams or 6 grams of coffee is a huge difference. So keep that in mind, guys. I'm just going to pop in the 50ml. We're not going to extract all of that 50ml because there is going to be some soakage into the puck itself, but it still should make a pretty good coffee. I do like a stronger, and typically I would do a simple 1:2 ratio, which means if I was putting in 6 grams of coffee, I'd only be trying to extract 12. But for the simplicity of the video, I'll put 50ml in, and I'm going to show you how this guy works. Once you're ready to extract your coffee, all you do is hold this button until it beeps. Now it's going to start heating up the water. We'll do a quick time lapse because this does take a few minutes, but let's start the timer. Now I just want to jump in here quickly and say, if you would like to support the channel, there's a couple of ways you can do that. Firstly, you can head over to the Mitch Does website, this link here, somewhere there. Go and buy yourself some merch like this guy here, or some coffee like the one we're about to brew today. Or you can head over to the Mitch Does memberships on YouTube. Let's get back to the live action. So in just over 4 minutes, we got a full double espresso. When I say double espresso, I mean the volume's there. We did end up extracting about 35 ml of water out, so it isn't exactly a 2-to-1 ratio, but that's not a bad espresso at all. Now there are a couple of things to keep in mind with this little espresso machine. First up, if you are putting in 50 ml of water, you're gonna get about 4 or 5 shots before the battery needs to be recharged. Now obviously the idea behind this is to be portable. So if you carry around a portable battery pack, you can plug it into this. It will charge obviously a lot slower than if you're in a proper 3 amp output wall socket, but it will certainly do the job. Even if you charge it overnight, it'll definitely keep you going in the morning. So obviously under normal circumstances, you can just pop that on a tree somewhere, let it do its thing, and it will pour straight into that cup beneath. So it's super convenient, really easy to use, super easy to clean as well. I've used a lot of similar products and they were just so clunky and it just really wasn't worth using. But I'm very glad to say that the Outin Nano is certainly at the top of my list for mobile espresso.